Hello everyone, Laser Dave here from Trotec Laser. This video will be your walkthrough for kickstarting your adventure with the Speedy line of Trotec laser systems that you've just unboxed and installed for the first time. We'll use the intuitive Ruby software to ensure that you get the most out of your Trotec experience from day one. So let's embark on this journey together. It's time to turn those creative ideas into reality. Let's get started.
This video is intended for systems already removed from their box or crate and fully installed. If you haven't reached this stage, we recommend watching our comprehensive unboxing and installation walkthroughs to ensure your laser system is ready for operation. You'll find all the necessary links for unboxing and installation guides in the description below this video for the Speedy line of laser machines. This video will showcase 3 projects for the first-time operation of your Speedy laser systems. Project number 1 will create a simple design from start to finish directly in the Ruby software. Project number 2 will use free online design generators and image artwork combined in Ruby to create a fun, unique laser project. Project number 3 will use a design created in a third-party graphic design software to then open into Ruby and then laser process that design. First, approach your new laser machine, turn it on with the key or switch, and let it boot up and home. Use the arrow keys to move the laser focus head out to the center of the field. For the Speedy 300, 360, and 400, remove the small hole nozzle and replace that with the wide hole nozzle by unscrewing it to remove it and then screwing the new one in place. For the Speedy 100 and Speedy 50, this step is not necessary. The large hole nozzle is ideal for shallow surface engraving on plastics and acrylics, producing a flame-polished edge due to slower cooling of the material. The small hole nozzle is designed for cutting operations like wood that generate a lot of smoke, focusing the airflow to clear away smoke and gases. It is also suitable for engraving applications that produce dust and will be the default nozzle for most applications. This first project will create a design directly in the provided Ruby software using a sheet of blue on white TroLase plastic shown here. Scan this QR code or see the link below to order. Remove the protective film from a piece of this plastic, open the laser system, and place the plastic into the upper left side corner of the machine. Now, on the Speedy 360 and Speedy 400 machines, use the system arrow keys to move the laser head over this plastic. Then select both the up and down Z-axis arrow keys simultaneously to use the sonar autofocus to focus the laser system on the plastic. Additionally, all Speedy machines can be manually focused using the provided focus tools. To do this, place the focus tool onto the left or right side of the focus head on the Speedy 300, 360, and 400 machines. The Speedy 50 and 100 are similar, as shown in the photos. Then, use the system Z-axis arrow keys to manually adjust the laser table height until the focus tool gently touches the material and slightly moves. Then remove the manual focus tool, and the system is focused on the material. Now, use the onboard arrow keys on the Speedy 100, 300, 360, and 400, and the computer keyboard arrow keys on the Speedy 50 to move the focus head to the desired start location on the material. Make sure to start the laser job slightly offset from the very edge of the material to produce a clean-cut part. Open the Ruby software on your computer system, tablet, or laptop. Select the second icon on the screen's top center to open the Ruby design screen. We will be creating an engraved and cut out nameplate in this example. In the design screen, select the rectangle tool and then drag out a rectangle. On the right side, near the drawing dimensions, select the small lock icon to unlock the X and Y aspect ratio. In the drawing dimensions field, type 10 inches or 254 millimeters in the X dimension and 2 inches or 51 millimeters in the Y dimension to create a nameplate outline. Then select red on the color palette. This will change the size and color of the rectangle. Colors are used for a laser operation. A red line is the default color for a laser cut path. Select the Fit to Design button on the top toolbar to resize the page to match this design. Select the small letter A on the top toolbar to add text to this design. Type out your name or desired text to be placed inside this rectangle. Click the selection tool on the top toolbar. Then, select a corner of this text and drag it out until you reach the desired size. While the text is selected, click the color black on the color palette to convert the text to black. The black color is the default color for engraving. Now, select the text and move it towards the center of the rectangle until it automatically snaps to the center. Once satisfied with the design, select the Create Job button on the upper right side of the screen. This will bring this design into the Prepare screen. On the Prepare screen, a small crosshair square icon will be seen on this field if the machine is turned on. This is a live reference of the exact location of the laser machine's red pointer that was positioned earlier. Select the nameplate design, move it, and snap the upper left corner to this cursor, representing the location of the laser red pointer. If you have a Speedy 360 or a Speedy 400 system, you can turn on the Vision Design and Position Camera system by selecting the camera icon button and using the camera to position the graphic. This is in addition to using the red pointer. Select here to turn off the grid for a clearer image, then use the camera image to position the design onto the plastic. Next, select the material that will be laser processed. This example will be laminates, TroLase, 1.6 mm or 1/16 of an inch. Once the material is selected, click the Push to Laser button on the top right side of the screen. This will send the design file that was just created, positioned on the field with the selected material parameter, to the Produce screen, also known as the queue of ready to process laser files. Select the Start button on the laser machine and watch the laser automatically engrave the black text shown here in a time lapse. Then cut the plastic with the red line. The actual processing time on a Speedy 360 80-watt laser was completed in 89 seconds. Open the laser and use a cloth to wipe away any dust. Then remove the completed nameplate from the laser. For the second project, we will process a solid wood sheet. Because thicker woods produce more heat and debris, the more commonly used higher pressure small hole nozzle is needed. Remove the wide hole nozzle and reinstall the small hole nozzle by unscrewing one and screwing on the other. This step is not needed on the Speedy 50 and Speedy 100 systems, as the air comes in from the side, and these models do not use nozzles. Project 2 will cut this 3/16 of an inch or 5 mm of solid cherry wood. Scan this QR code or see the link below to order this wood. Place the wood into the laser machine's upper left corner and again, focus the laser using the sonar focus or the manual focus tool, depending on the Speedy laser machine you are using. Please note that anytime a new material thickness is used, the laser will require it to be refocused to maintain quality. Once focused, close the laser lid and open up the Ruby software. For this project, I will create the design online by first going to makerdesignlab.com, then clicking on Tutorials and Tips, then selecting Online File Generators for Laser Cutting, and then scrolling down past many other useful online laser generators that can be used on your laser system. Generators for creating boxes, templates, gears, mazes, rulers, and nesting, until you see the Jigsaw Puzzle Generator. Select this generator and open it. Within this generator, you can adjust the look and size to your desired needs by sliding these sliders and typing in the dimensions and number of puzzle tiles. Once satisfied, select the Download SVG button and the Laser Ready file will automatically save into your Downloads folder. Next, I will use Vecteezy.com to find a high-quality, free, and copyright-free graphic to engrave into the puzzle cut file. For this example, I will search for the keyword Cat Doodle, select Free License on the left side, and scroll through the files until I find the perfect design. Black and white files work best, but a color image will also work. Once a design is located, select the Download button. The file will be saved into the Downloads folder on your computer. Open Ruby and select the Manage screen. Select the Downloads drop-down directly in Google Chrome or Microsoft Edge, or from the Downloads folder on your computer, and drag the puzzle's SVG file and the zipped file from Vecteezy directly into Ruby, and the files will be extracted and opened in the list of designs. To start the project using these designs, first select the jigsaw.svg file from the Manage Design list to open it into the design screen. Select the puzzle design, then select red from the color palette to convert the puzzle to a red cut path. Then select the Create Job button to take this puzzle into the Prepare screen. Adjust the puzzle file slightly onto the field, then select Designs on the top left side of the screen to add the cat doodle design to this puzzle. Select the small arrow next to the cat doodle file downloaded from Vecteezy to add this design to the Prepare screen. Scale this design and adjust it to fit within the puzzle outline. The file is filled with white, but the puzzle cut lines will still cut even though the white covers up the red cut lines, as part of the cut lines are not seen in this example. Move the laser pointer on the machine to the corner of the material and then select and snap the design to the pointer location. If you have the overhead camera on the Speedy 360 and 400, you can use this camera to position it in place or use only the red pointer to position the design. Select the wood from the materials list. This example will be processed onto 3/16 of an inch or 5 mm of solid cherrywood. Select Push to Laser and the file will go into the Produce screen, ready to be laser processed. Press Start on the laser to start the laser processing. The laser will engrave the black image into the wood and then cut the red puzzle path. The total time to process this 12-inch by 8-inch or 300 mm by 200 mm puzzle design on an 80-watt Speedy 360 machine was 19 minutes and 40 seconds. Once finished, use a damp cloth to wipe away the residue in place until it is fully clean. To remove the puzzle intact, use a sheet of transfer or application tape over the puzzle pieces to remove the puzzle in its entirety at once. You can then wipe the back side of the puzzle as the tape is holding it together, then remove the tape for the finished result. This unique engraved cat image puzzle was created into solid cherrywood with stunning results using easy-to-use online generators and designs combined together with the Ruby software. I will use this 1/8-inch or 3 mm bamboo veneer MDF wood sheet in this third and final project. Scan this QR code or use the link below to order this veneer wood. Place the sheet into the laser system center field and focus the laser using sonar or manually focus the machine on the material. This final project will showcase how you can use your favorite graphic design software to create the designs for the laser. Most common graphic design software will work well with a Trotec laser and Ruby if it can create vector-based artwork. Vector-based software is needed to utilize the full operational capabilities of a Speedy laser machine. The design will be compatible with the Ruby software if the graphic design software can generate or convert to one of these shown formats. This example will showcase a file previously designed using the popular CorelDraw software. This example box file has been created in CorelDraw using red vector cut lines with black text. Once a file is created in your design software, save it or export the design, converting it into one of the Ruby-compatible formats. Open the Ruby software. Since the design is ready to process, go directly to the Prepare screen and then drag the compatible design directly into this screen from the Save folder, or in this example, the file was saved on the computer desktop. Place the design over the wood using the overhead camera or red pointer. Even though the design was created in another design software, it can still be edited in Ruby. To edit it, select the small pencil icon at the top right side of the design to edit this design in Ruby. In this example, I want to change the text to personalize it. Select the text and select the pencil icon to edit the text. Type the new text, then select Enter. Select the text and drag it till it snaps to the center of the box. You can select Fit to Design if you like. Then click the Update Job button on the upper right side of the screen to take the edited design back into the Prepare screen. Select material from the materials list. This example will be the wood veneer bamboo. Then save the file. Use this location to name the file. The file is ready to process. Select Push to Laser. Push the Start button on the laser machine to start the job. The laser will engrave the black text and then cut the red vector cut path. This example was engraved and cut into this bamboo veneer MDF wood in 3 minutes and 27 seconds with an 80-watt Speedy 360 machine. Once finished, open the laser, wipe the wood surface with a damp cloth in place. Place a piece of transfer tape on the box parts, hold them together, turn the sheet over, wipe the back side, and then remove them from the laser. Transfer tape is an ideal product for removing and cleaning many laser cut parts simultaneously. See the links below to order. Remove the tape to remove the parts from the wood sheet, then press the box together for a stunning finished bamboo wood gift box. All design files in this video will be included in the links below. At Trotec, your seamless experience is our priority. If any questions arise as you get started with your Trotec laser, please get in touch with your nearest Trotec showroom or sales representative. For comprehensive support, including technical assistance, in-depth Ruby training courses, pre-installation guides, manuals, and more, we invite you to visit the Trotec customer portal at mytrotec.com. Our dedicated team is here to ensure that you are well taken care of. Now, take your new laser and make something unforgettable.